It's so great to be here with you. So great to be in your reflection and in your light. Oh my goodness, look at all of you. I look at your faces and I see the divine, just like that song was talking about. I feel like I'm looking at family because we are all one. And I am just so blessed to participate with CSL Tucson. Tucson has a place in my heart. My desktop is actually Unity of Tucson's labyrinth with the sunset happening on it. That's what I look at every day. So I dream about my Arizona future. So today and every day, I love talking about living a radically joyful life. And so today is another day where I get to do that, because when I wake up in the morning, some of you might know from me from another life. I am the host of Wake Up, Say Thank You. It's a weekday spiritual practice. And a part of that is, it's wake up, say thank you. And a new step for that is wake up, say thank you, move forward. So it's great to be in this expression and experience of waking up. Waking up is the opportunity to wake up to that soul light that is within each and every one of us, waking up to the fullest expression of your unique, unrepeatable divinity. You are absolute perfection. And like I say, every single weekday morning, this moment would be impossible without you. Everything in your life is the perfection of you being made known. Everything that you are is spirit first. This divine infinite intelligence has woven itself in and through and as absolutely everything. And I think we lose our way sometimes because we are magnificently unique and unrepeatable expressions and master storytellers. Am I the only one who tells a good tale in my head and oh, look, I see a rabbit going down a tunnel. I'm going to follow that and I'm going to dig myself in. And so we have that beautiful expression of freedom of our beautiful, magnificent mind. We can chase that rabbit down the hole and start telling ourselves the story of all the lack and limitations I have. A lot of my life, my experience has been the journey to become radically joyful. And I think that very often we get stuck in this place where we believe that joyful means comfortable, joyful means effortless, joyful means something that is sometimes very unreachable for many of us. So backing up a couple of decades of my life, I had lived with, from the age of 13 to 33, chronic anxiety disorder and severe depression. So from 13 to 33, that's a long time of not knowing the spark of the divine within me. That's a long time to study the walls of caves and basements and to not to see that expression of who I truly was. I was a master storyteller in this magnificent mind of infinite substance that is always listening and always saying yes. And so one day, each moment, you get to wake up a little bit more. And that's really what Wake Up, Say Thank You was stemmed from. I was already in ministry. I was already leading a community, and I was still living in fear, telling myself that all the branches of the universe that I could step out onto and see a greater truth were skinny branches and possibly couldn't carry my weight. And so I was living in that place of, wow, if I step out, is anything or anyone going to catch me? Is anyone, if I step out onto the skinny branch, am I going to be supported, or is that branch going to break and I'm going to fall to pieces? But the truth is, I had fallen to pieces many, many times. And in that divine magnificence of storyteller, I get to tell the story of falling apart or falling into place. Falling apart or falling into place, because every morsel and every moment of this day, it's a brand new baby moment. We get to step into the light, into the experience of our divine selves by seeing that reflection within ourselves. And this beautiful expression of spirit that is everywhere always. We tend to tell ourselves stories of worthiness or unworthiness. We tend to tell our story self that we're not valuable, that someone else can do that better. It's true. Someone else might be able to paint a Picasso way better than you. And that's because Picasso nailed it. Right? Picasso's doing that work. We get to be a unique, unrepeatable expression of spirit. And so living with that chronic anxiety and depression and living in a state of fear constantly for decades, there's morsels of moments that allowed the edging of that wallpaper to come down and start getting picked off, right? We get to just recognize that, oh, there's a different story under there. There's a different book I can pull off the shelf. And I did. The first book I pulled off the shelf was by Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It was pre-New Thought, pre-Science of Mind. It was just, oh my goodness, I need to be able to leave my house. And so I found this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And that was the first morsel. Like maybe I have something within me that can start peeling back the layers. Maybe there's something within me that can turn this page. And still, that was in my 20s. So there was still lots of time to incorporate all the fertilizer that I needed to tell a good story. But every morsel of every moment, it's a brand new opportunity. And every day we get to wake up and be grateful. It's a brand new day. Nothing in the past can hold us back. Nothing in the future can cause us to worry and stress. It is all within us. All of that energy, all of that feeling starts right here within us. It's powerful. And so happiness, joy, love, it starts within, right here, right now. It starts in this beautiful expression of our unique, unrepeatable reflection and animation of that which is already. We don't need to seek any further. We are already that. We are already that which we are looking for. So the way to happiness is gratitude, to be grateful, to be in that experience, whatever it is. I'm often talking about the divine is in everything. Wholeness, oneness, to be in that place of wholeness and oneness, to know it deeply, intimately, is to recognize and know that the sticky stuff, the sweet stuff, the hard stuff, and the soft stuff, it's all divine. When we get out of our own way, we get to be in that experience of spirit first, spirit doing and being everything that we are through the activity of us. I was thinking today, God doesn't love me. God is me. God doesn't want good for me. God is my good. And when we stand in that foundation, when we have that foundation of experience, that is where we can move from. Where we look, where we focus, where we address our thoughts, where we set our intentions, what we speak into the law of mind with intention and attention is made manifest in our life. There is evidence of this in my life. In fact, I am that evidence that this teaching works. I was just reading a blog post from Dr. Jim Lockhart this morning, and there's a beautiful quote by Elizabeth Gilbert I want to just share, and there's a swear in it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've never seen any life transformation that didn't begin with the person in question finally getting tired of their own bullshit. Right? That's true for me. That is so true for me. I was tired of where I was at. I was tired of not making it. I was tired of not feeling enough. I was tired of feeling lack and limitation in who I knew I could be. That powerful presence of knowingness within you. We each and every one of us have a seed planted in us that is divine light first. It is the power, it is the presence. Your uniqueness is that quality of the divine that wants to show life through you. Receiving the gifts of life is everything we simply open ourselves up to. There's this expression. Have you heard the expression, fake it till you make it? Who really fake it till you make it? Because in my experience, like from my personal experience, that's what I was doing for decades. I was faking it. I had this smile on my face all the time. I had this smile on all the time when I was 13 and suffering, when I was 27 and quitting drinking and doing all of that stuff, stepping into the fullest expression of who I could be. I had already been faking it, and it didn't get me anywhere because the universe calls us on our stuff. The universe says yes to the activity of our minds. And as we know, prayer is that activity of setting forth in motion a feeling. It is, we pray about what it is we want to feel in our life. We pray about what it is we want to think and have clarity for. And in that feeling tone, that feeling expression, the universe knows that knowing that this is a brand new baby day, this is a brand new baby moment, we get to step into it. Every time we think we've erred, or we've sinned, we've had an error in our thinking, that is the moment of awareness that we get to begin anew. We don't have to wait till tomorrow. Everyone, we're all starting our diets on Mondays, right? We'll just oops on Friday, but since we've oopsed on Friday, we'll just have a really good weekend and we'll start again on Monday. But in prayer and in setting the direction of your life, the moment you oops is the moment that is perfect and ripe for a shift in consciousness. That awareness in discovering the oops is the same moment that is the aha. So for me, this beautiful moment happened. It was a Asilomar, it was a Centers for Spiritual Living. It was one of the last Asilomars that we had before the break. And there is an opportunity to listen to Dr. Greg Bear, who is the author of Real Love. And I haven't read the book, but the moment I had with him changed my life, because in that I was a ministerial student. I was about to get married and didn't know if I wanted to. There was skinny branches all around me, and I wasn't sure about where I was going, what life was happening to me. And I was still wearing the mask of this all the time. I'm so happy to see you, right? And so Greg Bear, he has this exercise, and it was a full room. It was a Silomar, it was a evening general session. So there was 400 people when I got called up to the stage and to have a conversation with Dr. How ungenuine my smile was. He was talking about the mask I was clearly wearing for everybody in the room. And we were talking about, do I get married or don't I get married? What's that really about? Where's the fear at? And he had me sit on his lap, and then I told a joke. He said something about just imagine you're talking to your wife or your future wife. And I said, oh, well, you just got better looking. And the whole, like 400 people laughing, and my smile became real. And he's like, that's the first time you've shown us your smile. That's the first time. because I was comfortable. I was comfortable in my own skin, being in that moment. And I realizing that when he said, this is the first time we've seen your genuine smile, I knew that was truth. I knew that was truth. I had the same smile on for everyone from 13 to 33. And realizing that shift for me, I had this new permission to not smile. And it was new for me. It was new for me. And what that story shift was in that experience was that it's okay to show the world your authentic self. It's okay to show the world that you're feeling something other than joy. It's okay to be radically inclusive of your divine self, because it is the sticky stuff and the sweet stuff. And in that place of awareness, that full expression of spirit, the full expression of spirit allowed me to know that there are no small branches. There are no skinny branches. Wherever you are walking is holy ground. Wherever you are moving to, the divine is already there waiting for you. Thich Nhat Hanh said, if we are not in contact with pain, we cannot know what real happiness is. And so that part of me that loves the radical inclusivity of joy, the radical gratitude, is knowing that all of that fertilizer, all of those hard places for me, all of that decades of anxiety and depression was the fertilizer necessary to bloom and blossom the authentic divine source that is within everything. It just happens to be showing up as a unique, unrepeatable expression that looks like me and talks like me and acts like me, right? So in that beautiful expression of spirit, letting us turn towards the true feeling, letting us turn towards our true wants and desires, to become clear on what it is we want in our lives, is to direct the flow of energy, to direct our thoughts and focus our thinking on what it is we want. Because I was spending a whole lot of time regurgitating the depression and the anxiety. But what I really wanted was loving presence in my life. What I really wanted was joyful expression. And I found joyful expression pulling myself out of the muck and the mire, pulling myself up, dusting myself off, flaking off all the clay and the manure that had created the most magnificent divine expression. Knowing in absolute humility and in that humble expression that God did it. God did all of it. I didn't do anything. Spirit is the infinite intelligence that woke me up to myself. For I am spirit remembering that I am spirit remembering. Eckhart Tolle said, as soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. I find this to be true for myself. The moment I become aware of the moment, that is beautiful. That is grace, knowing grace. And so as we focus on love, as we focus on abundance, as we focus on joy, we simply are allowing the opportunity of that divine mind, the infinite creator, to expand our lives with us, for us, and as us. For there is nothing separate. There is nothing separate in this party of life. This is life. This is a celebration of divine substance being in this time and space. So how do we present ourselves to the world? Are we okay with what shows up? Because what shows up is spirit. Are we okay with allowing balance into our lives, to know that the sticky and the sweet are harmoniously living itself and weaving itself for a perfect life? Are we willing to invite balance and participate in that sticky stuff? Stepping out onto those skinny branches and trusting that the footing is as wide as we need it to be. Are we going to be okay with peace in our life? Are we going to be okay with letting peace into our life? What does that look like? How does that feel like? Knowing what peace looks like for each of us is different. We're working towards a world that works for everyone, and which means we have to trust that what is working for each of us is divinely ordained. And that comes with the releasing of the need to judge and label everything, including our own thoughts. Letting life unfold, because we get to be the author. We are the author, the director, the producer of this life. We get to shift and change. We get to move. We get to evolve. We get to do all the things we want to do. And we get to participate in that with an infinite source, a divine supply, and a mind that says yes to everything. So let's say yes to that powerful presence that is supporting this life right here, right now. As we are the writers and the directors and the producers, there's an executive producer that's like, you know what, that's a great story you're telling, but I've got a bigger plan for you. And sometimes it's not going to show up the way we want it to, but it's going to show up the way we need it to be. And so to enjoy this beautiful expression of life that is unfolding, I turn to very often Buddha, and he's quoted as saying, to enjoy health, bring happiness and peace. One must discipline one's mind, find the way to enlightenment and wisdom. What you think, you become. And so let's think ourselves into a glorious and magnificent, radically joyful life. And let's do a spiritual mind treatment together. So in this beautiful expression of spirit unfolding and infolding upon this moment, I trust and know and affirm. In fact, I declare it is already so, recognizing and knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one divine infinite intelligence that moves and flows and has its being in the everything of life. This fantastical expression is the living well that I sip from, that I drink from, that I shower myself in. This beautiful expression of wholeness and oneness is that I get to be an aware presence as I move and flow and have my being in this life. And so as I see that reflection in me, I see that reflection in everyone. For wholeness within me is the wholeness of divine substance that is within everything and all things. There is no space, no place, no moment, no breath where the divine is not emanating its fullness and activating upon its very nature of being. And so I step into this knowing. I tap in, tune in, and align with the highest expression of who I am. And as I know that for me, I know it for everyone. I know Center for Spiritual Living Tucson is a glorious expression of community that enlivens and emboldens this philosophy, this way of life. To know that each member of this community is a bright and beautiful beacon of light and love and truth, resonating into the allness of Tucson and to the allness of Arizona. I simply know and trust that each and everyone is this rippling effect of a radically joyful life. And this powerful presence that surges through all of life, surges through each and every community member, opening wide their hearts, opening wide the expression and experience of this truth, that spirit is everything first, and unfolding and infolding upon its only expression, its only substance. And so this substance is love, unfolding and infolding. This substance is joyful expression and expansion. This joyful noise is the blessing of everyone who participates and is welcomed into this beautiful community of radically joyful people. I know fully and completely this joy in my life. And I am blessed. I am humbled. I am in service and in awe of this community. To be in that divine partnership with the holy and the sacred and the powerful and the presence. To know that right now, there is nothing more to become, nothing more to step into, nothing more to expand upon. For there is only one infinite intelligence that is powerful presence moving and surging and having its being through the life, through the power and the powers, through the grace, the glory, and the good. And I know right here and right now that each and every one of us need do nothing more. We are already spirit. There is nothing more to become. In that powerful place of grace and gratitude, I release this word into the infinite law of mind and activity where I know it is already perfect, whole, and complete. I let it be so, and so it is.